conmigo, coño. Oh, what the? Hey,
Be careful, Rob. Be careful. Be careful, Rob.
Coi Leray.
What did it say?
She was upset that I interviewed you guys. I don't know. I guess, you know, I don't know. You guys had a history before, right?
Yeah, because I'm genuine. I thought she wanted to do a collab with some music, but really she was just trying to out me out the plan and bag my nigga and some bullshit. And I'm like, you can have yo. I just want the verse. Half the time song.
You know it's bad when the internet doesn't even ask, is this real anymore? Because everyone just assumes chaos is the default setting. 1 minute you're scrolling memes. The next minute Chrisean Rock is allegedly seeing red. Blueface rumors are multiplying faster than conspiracy theories at 3 a.m. and Coi Leray's name gets dragged into the blender like it accidentally clicked join group chat. This isn't just messy. This is the kind of mess that makes reality TV producers cry tears of envy. Kardashians are watching from the sidelines whispering, damn, that's too much. According to whispers that spread faster than Wi-Fi in Starbucks, something snapped, not cracked, not bent, snapped clean in half. Screenshots started popping up. Timelines got rearranged. Fans started connecting dots that may or may not exist. But once the internet smells blood, logic clocks out early. And suddenly, Chrisean Rock allegedly isn't just annoyed, she's nuclear. The type of energy where people start deleting tweets like they're wiping fingerprints off a crime scene. What really set this off? Was it a rumor, a message, a name? Said a little too loud in the wrong comment section? Or was this the moment where every unresolved issue finally piled on at once and exploded like a microwave with foil inside? Stay locked in. Because this story doesn't ease into madness, it cannonballs straight into it. Let's be honest, nobody woke up expecting peace, not when the internet has been running on chaos fumes for years, and not when Chrisean Rock and Blueface are involved. This relationship doesn't simmer, it detonates, and just when fans thought the emotional war zone couldn't get messier, a single rumor slipped through the cracks and blew the whole thing wide open. The kind of rumor that doesn't knock politely, it kicks the door off the hinges and asks questions later. Here's how it always starts, a whisper, a comment. A name casually dropped where it doesn't belong, no confirmation, no receipts. Just enough smoke for the internet to scream fire. And this time, the name floating through timelines wasn't random, it was Coi Leray. That's when things stopped being messy and started feeling personal. Because when a rumor mixes fame, history, unresolved tension, and public humiliation, it doesn't stay a rumor for long. It turns into a narrative, and narratives don't care about facts. Fans started doing what fans do best when bored and overconfident. They dug up old clips like archaeologists looking for cursed artifacts. Lyrics got analyzed like they were encrypted messages. Someone liked something. Someone didn't unlike something fast enough. Suddenly, timelines were filled with screenshots zoomed in so far you'd think people were hunting for microscopic evidence. And the internet collectively decided this wasn't coincidence. It was destiny. Now imagine being Chrisean, already living under a microscope where every emotion is dissected for entertainment. Imagine watching strangers argue about your life like it's a scripted series they think they understand better than you. And then, imagine seeing a name trend next to yours that you never asked to be associated with your situation. That's not gossip anymore, that's provocation. And Chrisean is not known for quietly sipping tea while being provoked. According to online chatter, something shifted. The playful chaos tone disappeared. The joking energy vanished. What replaced? It felt sharper, heavier, like someone who'd been biting their tongue so long they finally tasted blood. The internet noticed immediately. Fans always do. They can smell emotional combustion before it hits. Comments started rolling in asking questions nobody was ready to answer. And instead of calming things down, speculation doubled like a bad investment. Let's talk about Blueface for a second. Because no matter how hard people try to separate the drama, he's the gravitational center of it all. Every rumor about him doesn't just float. It pulls everything else into orbit. His silence, suspicious. His presence, worse. Every move he makes feels like tossing a match into gasoline and acting shocked when flames appear. And the internet loves nothing more than watching the same cycle repeat while pretending this time will end differently. As the rumor gained traction, the internet did what it does best. It exaggerated. Suddenly, this wasn't just gossip. It was confirmed in comment sections by people whose only source was another comment section. And Chrisean, whether reacting to something private or something public, allegedly reached her limit. Because there's a difference between being talked about and being disrespected. And in her world, that line gets crossed fast. People started saying she went off, and not in the playful, viral clip way. This was described as raw, emotional, and unfiltered. The kind of reaction that doesn't feel curated for cameras, but spills out when someone's patience hits zero. Supporters praised her for refusing to stay quiet. Critics accused her of feeding into rumors, and everyone else just watched like it was must-see. Television. Coi Leray, whether intentionally or accidentally, found herself dragged into a storyline she didn't write. That's the danger of being famous in the internet age. You don't need to do anything wrong to become part of the plot. You just need to exist at the wrong time while the internet is bored. And once your name is attached, there's no undo button, only louder speculation. What made this moment different wasn't just the rumor. It was the timing. Emotions were already raw. History was already messy. The audience was already primed for chaos. This wasn't a spark in a comm room. It was a match tossed into a fireworks factory. And once it ignited, there was no version of this story that ended quietly. Fans picked sides immediately. Because nuance doesn't trend, one group insisted Chrisean had every right to react. Another group argued she was giving rumors oxygen. Meanwhile, the internet kept doing what it does best, turning personal pain into public entertainment. Reaction channels popped up like mushrooms after rain. Everyone suddenly had an opinion. Even people who admitted they didn't know what was true. And here's the wild part. At this stage, facts barely mattered. The story had momentum, the rumor had legs, and Chrisean's reaction, real or exaggerated by online retellings, became the emotional anchor of the entire situation. This wasn't about who did what anymore. It was about perception, pride, and the unbearable weight of being watched while hurting. By the time timelines fully caught fire, the situation had already crossed the point of no return. No statement could undo it. No clarification could calm it. The internet had locked in, and this was only the beginning. Because once public emotion takes control of a narrative, it doesn't flow down, it escalates. And what started as a rumor was now a full-blown cultural moment begging to explode even harder. Once the rumor escaped containment, the internet didn't just react, it celebrated. This wasn't treated like sensitive personal drama. It was treated like the season finale of a show everyone swore they stopped watching, but somehow knows every detail of. Timelines flooded, notifications went feral, and suddenly everybody became an expert on relationships they've never lived in. The situation didn't trend quietly. It stomped onto social media wearing steel-toe boots and demanded attention. Memes came first, because humor is the internet's coping mechanism for chaos. Clips got chopped, remixed, slowed down, sped up, and repackaged with captions that made everything feel 10 times worse. People were laughing, arguing, defending, accusing, all at once. It was less like a discussion and more like a digital food fight where nobody remembered who threw the first plate. And right in the middle of it all sat Chrisean Rock, whose emotional response became the centerpiece of the entire spectacle. Some viewers framed her reaction as pain finally boiling over after being poked one too many times. Others dismissed it as another episode in what they called a never-ending drama loop. Either way, nobody was looking away, because whether people Admit it or not, raw emotion in public is the internet's favorite genre. Then there was Coi Leray, whose involvement, real or imagined, became a debate instead of a detail. One side insisted her name never should have been mentioned at all. Another side argued that celebrities know how this game works and silence is just another move. And somewhere in the middle were people genuinely confused about how a rumor with no confirmed origin managed to hijack an entire news cycle. The reaction channel smelled blood. Influencers turned on their ring lights like emergency sirens. Everyone suddenly had a hot take, which is internet slang for "I will now speak confidently with limited information." Some compared the situation to reality TV on steroids. Others joked that streaming platforms should start paying royalties to social media for better plot lines. Even people who claimed to be exhausted by the drama were suspiciously well-informed. And of course, no chaos like this survives without memes dragging Blueface back into the spotlight. His name hovered over every conversation like a storm cloud that refuses to move. Every old clip resurfaced. Every lyric got reinterpreted. His silence was analyzed like it was a hidden message. His past behavior became evidence for arguments that didn't even agree with each other. People started comparing this saga to a soap opera written by social media algorithms. One tweet would claim everything was fake. Another would swear it was all real. A third would confidently say it was both. Logic tapped out early. Emotion took the wheel. And the internet did what it does best when it has no clear villain. It blamed everyone equally. What really escalated things was how personal the commentary became. This wasn't just gossip anymore. It turned into debates about respect, boundaries, loyalty, and public humiliation. Supporters of Chrisean framed her response as self-defense in a world that constantly tries to embarrass her. Critics accused her of amplifying rumors that should have been ignored. And Coi Leray's fans pushed back hard, arguing that being dragged into someone else's relationship mess is a punishment no one deserves. The comparisons went off the rails. People said this drama made the Kardashians look boring. Others joked. It felt like watching a group chat argument accidentally go live. Some even claimed it was a masterclass in how the internet can turn speculation into perceived truth in under 24 hours. And the wildest part, everyone believed they were right. As the noise grew louder, the original question got buried. What actually happened? Was there ever anything real behind the rumor? Or did the internet just build a mansion on quicksand? At this stage, the answer almost didn't matter. The spectacle had outgrown the source. The reaction was now the story, and the story had legs. Even neutrality became suspicious. If someone didn't comment, people demanded to know why. If someone commented vaguely, it was dissected like a coded confession. Every emoji was analyzed. Every like was screen recorded. It reached a point where simply existing online felt like participating whether you wanted to or not. And Chrisean's energy, according to online perception, stayed intense, not manic. Not performative, but charged, like someone who felt misunderstood, overwhelmed, and pushed into a corner with millions of eyes watching. That kind of pressure doesn't produce calm statements, it produces explosions. And the internet, shamelessly, kept asking for more. By now, the situation had officially crossed from rumor into cultural moment. Not because of confirmed facts, but because of emotional investment. People were arguing like they personally knew the players. Strangers defended or condemned with the passion of family members. And the cycle fed itself. Engagement bred content. Content bred reaction. Reaction bred outrage. This was no longer a single confrontation. It was a full-scale internet event. And just when it seemed like nothing else could be squeezed out of the situation, the consequences started creeping in, because the internet never just watches, it remembers. And what comes after the noise is often louder than the noise itself. And that's when things stopped being funny and started getting real. After the internet finished screaming, laughing, arguing, and pretending it was over it, the real damage started settling in. Because drama doesn't disappear when trends move on, it just changes shape. What began as a rumor had now carved itself into public memory. and everyone involved was left dealing with a version of the story they didn't fully control. This is the part nobody glamorizes, the quiet consequences that linger long after the memes stop trending for Chrisean rock. The moment became another chapter in a reputation already defined by intensity. Supporters doubled down, saying she reacted like any human pushed too far in public. Critics, louder than ever, painted her as impulsive and reckless, ignoring context and focusing only on reaction. And that's the curse of virality. Once your response becomes the headline, your feelings become optional footnotes. The internet rarely asks why someone snapped. It just asks how entertaining the snap was. And Chrisean's emotional response, no matter how justified or misunderstood, got frozen into clips, captions, and hot takes that will resurface anytime her name trends again. That's how digital narratives work. They don't evolve, they loop. Then there's Coi Leray, who ended up carrying the weight of association whether she earned it or not. Even without confirmed involvement, her name now lives in a paragraph. She never wrote. That's the unspoken tax of fame. You don't have to speak to be implicated. Silence gets rebranded as strategy, guilt, or indifference depending on who's watching. And once fans argue about you, your intent becomes irrelevant. Public perception doesn't care about nuance, it cares about sides. And the moment sides are drawn, everyone loses something. Coi Leray's supporters grew defensive, neutral observers became skeptical, and people who were never invested suddenly felt entitled to explanations. The internet demanded clarity from a situation that was never clear to begin with, hovering above it all. As always was Blueface, whose presence in the narrative felt less like a character and more like a recurring curse. His name remained the connective tissue linking every argument, every rumor, every emotional reaction. Whether he spoke or stayed silent, it didn't matter. The damage was already baked into the storyline. At this point, he wasn't just part of the drama, he was the reference point. What made the aftermath especially brutal was how quickly empathy disappeared. Once the chaos peaked, audiences moved on emotionally while the people involved were left dealing with real-world consequences. Mental strain doesn't trend. Reputational scars don't go viral, but they linger, and anyone who's lived through public scrutiny knows the silence after the storm is often worse than the noise itself. Brands watch these moments closely. Collaborations get paused quietly, opportunities get reconsidered. Publicists start working overtime behind closed doors while fans argue online as if there's no impact beyond comments. The truth is, every viral scandal leaves fingerprints in rooms the public never sees. Relationships don't walk away clean either. Trust fractures. Communication becomes defensive. Every future interaction gets filtered through the lens of what just happened. Even moments unrelated to the drama will be reinterpreted as responses or set weights by an audience trained to read between imaginary lines. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. The internet doesn't actually want resolution. It wants continuation. Closure doesn't trend, cliffhangers do. The moment things calm down, people start waiting for the next spark. Another rumor, another reaction, another screenshot. This cycle feeds itself because attention rewards chaos more than clarity. What this situation exposed wasn't just personal tension. It was how quickly public narratives hijack private emotions. How easily speculation becomes truth. How fame turns human reactions into entertainment products. And how once a story hits critical mass, nobody fully controls it anymore. The aftermath didn't end with apologies or confirmations, because those rarely satisfy anyone. It ended with exhaustion, with audiences moving on while the weight stayed behind, with reputations subtly reshaped, with relationships altered in ways no trending topic can fully explain. And if history has taught the internet anything, it's this won't be the last time. The names may change, the rumor might wear a different mask, but the cycle remains undefeated. Because as long as attention is currency, chaos will always be profitable. And somewhere, right now, the next scandal is already loading. And this is exactly why you can't look away. Because just when you think the chaos has peaked, the internet whispers, you thought that was it. If you made it this far, congratulations! You survived another episode of Celebrity Madness without throwing your phone across the room. But don't get it twisted. This story isn't done. It's just catching its breath. And you already know. The next headline is loading as we speak. So do me a favor and smash that like button like it owes you money and just tried to dodge you. Hit it hard, no mercy. That's how the algorithm knows you live for this type of insanity. Drop a comment too, because I already know you've got an opinion, a theory, or at least one now. But listen, take you've been holding in this whole time. Was Chrisean justified? Was Coi dragged unfairly? Or did the internet do what it always does best and turn whispers into warfare? Say it loud. The comment section is waiting. And if you're not subscribed yet, fix that immediately. Because scandals don't send calendar invites. And when the next celebrity meltdown hits at 2 a.m., you're going to want front row seats, not reruns. Hit that subscribe button like you're locking the door before chaos kicks it in. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. This channel doesn't do quiet, it doesn't do watered down, and it definitely doesn't do boring. We break it down, we turn it up. And we say what everybody else is scared to say. Because in a world where celebrity drama resets every 24 hours, we stay ready. And remember this, the internet never forgets, rumors never die, and the next explosion is already on deck. Welcome to Celeb Insanity.